welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey and today's video is going to be my vegan anniversary vlog. I have this fun little shirt that I got from a sketchy Instagram boutique that I thought I got scammed out of, but it did end up showing up and I'm so happy because I really like the shirt. Erin and I are about to meet up with my best friend Missy and we're gonna go feed the cows. I have some leftover produce that we're gonna go bring them and pet them and love on them because they're my friends and I just love the living patooties out of them. I'm about to eat my breakfast. I have a big bowl of fruit. I'm really excited to eat that. And since I have made so much progress on my healing journey, I am trying to reintroduce some of my previous trigger foods, and since it's my vegan anniversary, I figure what better way to celebrate than go to some of my favorite restaurants. I have not eaten at any of them in so long and I'm really excited because my diet's been a little boring lately, so we're gonna give it some pizzazz. We're on our way to see the Moomers. I'm so excited. Ollie's here, so it'll be interesting to see how he reacts to the cows. And I decided I'm gonna get meals from both restaurants. Whoever's in charge of this field is doing a really crap job, because I can't even see the cows. So I don't know where to look.
Look at your hair! And what did you do? Oh, you smell like home. That's nice. Look how cute you are. I just got this shirt and these shoes last night.
I'm big sad there was not cows at either field where there are normally cows. So, and Ollie overheated. So we're just gonna go get food and I'm trying to not be sad, but I am. I got the hillbilly dogs. They're on a pretzel bun, which is my favorite part. They were not supposed to put cheese sauce because I'm allergic, but it's fine. As long as I make it to tomorrow without puking, I will be happy. And tonight I'm getting a calzone from Ethos. Bye.
I don't know why you're telling me. I didn't say anything. I just got the camera, so I'm gonna be recording with everything.
So good. It's kind of late, almost 8 o'clock. I got my calzone. I'm really excited. I used to work at Ethos and pretty much lived off of their food for a while, and so it's been kind of crappy not being able to eat it. So hopefully this goes well and I'll be able to go more often. I don't think I've eaten there since like April, May at the latest, so it's been a minute. And then I will show you what I got for dessert from Market on South. This is my super cute little key lime pie tart. I'm really excited about it. I'm trying to figure out what they use for the whipped cream because the only non-dairy whipped cream option that I'm aware of is made out of coconut, and this doesn't taste like coconut. So hopefully I'm wrong and I'm not actually allergic to it. If I am, then whatever. These pancakes are so good. They're so good. I don't think I'm gonna be able to eat it all because it made 2 giant pancakes, but oh my goodness, I could cry. I'm so happy. They're so good. Hello! It is quite a few days later, almost a week. It's fine. We're thriving. I realized that I forgot to record the second half of this video, and I did want to tell a little bit about my story with veganism and what led me to this lifestyle. And yeah, so way back when, 11 and a half years ago, I think it was December 31st of 2008, my family was having steak for dinner. It was New Year's Eve. I no longer ate steak because I found out what they do to the cows and I was mortified and I never ate it again. So my mom said that I could have the leftover chicken breast that was in the fridge. I had been going back and forth on whether or not I wanted to be a vegetarian for a couple of couple of weeks. I think I had tried on Christmas Day and then realized that everything I was eating had meat in it. So I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. We'll try this another time. So when my mom said I could have the chicken breast, there was a little light bulb that went off in my head, and I thought, it's December 31st. Tomorrow is New Year's Day. What better New Year's resolution than to try being a vegetarian? So me being me, I just kind of made that life decision without bringing it up to my parents or asking permission when they were the ones paying for my food. So I didn't eat the chicken breast. No one noticed. And the next day I posted on MySpace that I was a vegetarian. And my mom came into my room and she said, "Oh, you're a vegetarian, huh?" And I was like, "Yeah, I am." And there were definitely some mixed emotions surrounding the situation. I had my dad, who was freaking out. You would have thought I did something terrible because he was just so devastated that I made this decision. And then there was people in my life who said I wasn't going to last a month. Hey, I didn't forget that. But anyway, my parents felt more comfortable with me transitioning into the process by being a pescatarian. I ate a lot of seafood, so that wasn't an issue. So technically the first year I was a pescatarian. And then after that, I did transition into being a full vegetarian. I did that for 7.5 years, a little bit more than 7.5 years. And then fast forward to 2016, I was halfway through my yoga teacher training program, which was such an enlightening experience, definitely one of the best things that I have ever done for myself. And I was just constantly surrounded by this positive, lively energy. And there were a few people in my class who were actually vegan, and I had been going back and forth for quite a few years, and just never really felt comfortable or confident that it was a decision that was right for me at the time. But I was in such a massive transformational period of my life that I thought, what better time than the present? And I had no idea what I was doing. I had originally planned to take it in steps like stop eating things with honey, stop eating things with eggs, stop eating things with milk. And funny enough, I do not like eggs. They freak me out. So I didn't eat eggs on their own. And I also don't like milk. I stopped drinking milk when I was 1 year old. So it was just things that had those ingredients in them, not the ingredients on their own, if that makes sense. Anyway, that didn't happen. I just made the decision, we're gonna go full force and do this thing. So there were quite a few weeks of just eating quinoa and vegetables or zoodles with this flavorless creamy garlic sauce that was not good. And I just remember being so uncomfortable and not understanding how difficult of a transition it was. But we learned, we've grown, we've conquered. Here I am 4 years later and couldn't be happier. This past year, so like July of last year up until now, has definitely been the hardest time I've had with veganism. I was very privileged prior to that, and to be honest, this year has shown me what a privilege it is just to be able to abide by a vegan diet. It really is. And so those of you who rightfully wish that everyone in the world was vegan, I challenge you to see things from a different perspective, because I'll just leave it at the fact that it is truly a privilege. Yes, I agree that everyone can benefit from eating less meat and animal products. However, for health reasons and financial reasons, it's not feasible for everyone to be vegan. And for me, it was on the health side of things. I got diagnosed with 13 food allergies, which at first I was elated because it was finally an answer as to why my stomach was always hurting and why I was always so nauseous and had hives all the time, and no one could tell me why. And within one doctor's appointment, so many of my symptoms were explained. So the first day or two, I was kind of on cloud nine. I had an answer. There was a reason. I wasn't crazy. And then the reality set in of what the living am I supposed to eat? And there were quite a few meltdowns. And little did I know that it would actually get worse. So I did pretty well moving away from my food allergens. My nausea settled down 80 or 90%, which was a huge blessing. I'm kind of scared to think about where I would be right now had I not gotten diagnosed with them, because it was pretty bad. Anyway, then I started realizing that my nerve pain was getting worse, and I didn't know what to do about it. So everyone just kept preaching gluten-free, gluten-free, gluten-free. And I had tried it 2 other times, but in January of this year, I was like, you know what? Let's just give it a go again. Maybe if I just really dive in, it will help. And it did not. But I kept doing it because everyone kept saying that it should help, so I just thought I was doing right by my body. And then in April or May, I found out that grains are actually a pretty common trigger for people with conditions such as mine. And that was hard. That was so hard. I thought gluten-free was hard. Gluten-free is a breeze in comparison to grain-free. Those of you who are grain-free and vegan and this, that, and the other thing, I give you all of my kudos, because I freaking feel you. It is tough. It is so tough. I was having to cook every single thing that I wanted to eat from scratch. And if I did find something that I didn't have to make from scratch, it was incredibly expensive. I'm talking like $6 or $7 for a box of cereal. $7 or $8 for tortillas, $4 or $5 for a bag of chips. So I'm very privileged that I was in a financial position to be able to afford these products, so that I did have something to look forward to, that I didn't have to slave over a hot stove for hours at a time just to eat. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put a trigger warning right here. I'm going to talk about eating disorders for a little bit. I am in recovery from anorexia, have been for years, and up until this last year have done very well in my recovery. It isn't something that has bothered me for a long time, probably since I was like 19 or 20, a long time. But it was very, very challenging to maintain a healthy relationship with food when food was now such a burden and not something that I could just turn to for enjoyment. And obviously I realized that food is sustenance. It's not meant for pleasure, but who doesn't love comfort food, especially in the middle of a global pandemic when we're all stressed and in a tizzy? So I really started to struggle again, and with my lack of energy and lack of motivation and not feeling good, it was very difficult to want to and accept that this was my reality. So fast forward to now, I am so blessed and so fortunate and privileged that I have found immense healing and have now been able to start introducing things back to my diet. In addition to grain-free vegan, no 13 food allergens, was also soy-free, nightshade-free. Yeah, and grain-free and gluten-free coincide because gluten comes from wheat, which is a grain, so that's kind of in the same ballpark. But yeah, so I've started adding back in nightshades. I think we've already talked about that. You have obviously seen me eating some things that are full of gluten, and I've done pretty well. So I wouldn't say that I'm at a point where I can go back to eating these things full time, but it is so wonderful to just be able to indulge every once in a while and have something that I want and not have to just play the balance game of, is the pleasure and the enjoyment for 2 minutes while I'm eating this going to be worth being in pain all night and crying my eyes out sitting in the bathtub until 3 a.m. So yeah, I'm blessed. If you are able to abide by a vegan diet, vegetarian diet, any diet that you please. You are blessed. Eating is a blessing. Please do not take these things for granted. It is not something that is a right. It's not something that everyone is able to do. And I think that it's something that we overlook very frequently. And I am so guilty of that. So count your blessings. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this video and celebrate with me on my vegan anniversary. If you're vegan out there, congratulations. I'm so happy for you. If you're thinking about becoming vegan, congratulations. I am so proud of you. You can do it. Any little thing that you do to better yourself, better the planet, help the animals, help each other does make a difference. So please don't feel like it has to be an all or nothing thing. Any little thing that you do does make a difference. That concludes my rant and rave. Thank you so much again, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!